Hello? Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. And I know Elena did such an inspiring introduction. So thank you so much for that. I had the opportunity to chat with all of our panelists here, and you're in for a real treat. They have fabulous stories, so I really encourage you afterwards to talk to them. They each have their own journey. And I myself was a crypto chick back in the day, and it was truly an incredible experience. And I was in one of those meetups, an all-male meetup, and Elena was the only female along with me, and she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, hey, you know what, do you want to come to one of my meetups? And I was like, of course, right? And then it more or less we just took it from there. So it is true, and the hackathons and everything else, that's how I fell in love with hackathons, was through the CryptoChick hackathon. So without further, I want, if you can introduce yourselves, because you just have such incredible backgrounds. Go ahead, Nataliya.
Sure, we've met, Nataliya Hearn. So quickly, my journey, I'm a materials engineer, so I wasn't into computers much, but I have engineering background. So I'm used to working with guys. I like men. It's all good, you know? It's also good when you go to a place and you're the only one. You don't have to introduce yourself too many times. You know, they remember your name. So there's a lot of advantages. So I like avant-garde technologies. I'm big into space materials and all this kind of stuff. And this is kind of next generation and what we're doing in this digital world that we're all transitioning into. So that's me.
Jamie, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jamie from EthStorage, and I joined this Web3 area back in 2018, and since then I've been joining some of the projects, and I ran my own agency for years, and I'm also the founder of the Women in Web3 Korea, so I'm doing lots of things, and I also have background not in engineering, so if someone's afraid of getting into this field without engineering background, I can be your hope. Yeah.
My name is Sarah. I work for Circle as a software engineer. If you don't know the name Circle, maybe you know USDC, which is a US dollar-backed digital asset. We issue it jointly with Coinbase. So I've been with Circle for the last year and 3 quarters. Before that, I was at a legacy fintech and kind of decided I wanted to do something a little bit more exciting, which is how I got into Web3. At Circle, I work on our stablecoins team. I work pretty directly on USDC, Eurocoin. My team is also responsible for the recent cross-chain transfer protocol. But before joining Circle, I had a strong engineering background, but no Web3 experience, and that's been totally fine. And I've had a lot of fun learning about the space and building things for the last year and a bit.
Fabulous, that's fabulous. Okay, for the first question, Nataliya, if you could take this one. Web3, such a big name, right? Can you define what it means to you and also what your vision of collaborative success is?
Okay, so I'm trying to think, if you look at transformative kind of pivotal periods in our life. So I look at, we're living in a black and white world, and we're moving into Technicolor. And that's across the board, even with our computer systems. I mean, we're using on-off switch, black and white, right? We're moving into quantum computing. We're going from centralized governments and then all the minions, or centralized data storage, Amazon and so on and so forth, into distributed, to ownership. Right? So we are going from sort of a one-dimensional situation into this incredible, big 3D world.
No, that makes so much. You've put everything together, everything that you think about, and it's true. It's so true what you're saying. Jamie, yourself, what's your sort of, how do you define Web3?
For me, Web3 is with this new technology, it enables we create our own system by all individuals. Now we are removing the third party, and that's where I felt like each individual became more important. They can make their own impact without control of the third party. So each individual now can have like different impacts, and that's why I think some community and some of the groups are really important that was like born by the community members. So for example, like we have this Web3 builder.tech group that's supported by EthStorage, and for example, this one has like lots of developers, over like 2,000 members, and they have like in-depth knowledge. We do all the researches and study together and grow together. So like each member, they don't only study, but they build something together and they are making impact together. So like Web3, I think created this amazing environment for each individuals.
That's incredible. It's just the constant theme, right? Individual contribution, you can make a difference, and it seems like these communities, whether it's CryptoChicks or whether it's the tech building community that you're part of, that's pretty incredible. And how about you, Sarah?
For me, I think the key aspects of Web3 are like decentralization and global reach, and then also ownership and like your own keys, your assets are yours. And financial freedom. Circle's mission is raising global economic prosperity through the frictionless exchange of value, which is a lot of words, but it hits kind of the key things for me. It's global, and then like economic prosperity, which is everyone can have their own digital wallet where they control their assets. They don't need a bank account. They don't need anyone else's permission. Your assets are yours, and then heaven forbid you need to get out of a bad situation or anything. I think lots of us have heard bad stories about that. But if you have your own assets, you control them, you can take yourself where you need to and get yourself where you need to go. And that's the core of Web3 for me.
Oh, I love it. It's like a hallelujah. Not your keys, not your money, right? That is so great. That is so great. Okay, we're going to get really personal here now. So, Nataliya, maybe if you can give me an example from your experience of how you have actually felt like that Web3, that transformative power of Web3 for you, or a role, like an ideal role, just something that you felt that has an example.
I think one of the things it takes pieces of technology to come together to pull all this. I mean, blockchain is an essential piece of the ownership. But if we sort of strip away the technology and go like, I want to, do this, come beam me up, Scotty. I'm a Star Trek fan, right? The geek comes out, right? And be somewhere else. That's how I see Web3. So I want to walk through Times Square real time through people. That's cool. And we can do that. We can really do that today. I also think of if we did a digital twin of our real-time digital twin of this Earth, right? It will allow us to do and we'll have public spaces like we do parks and stuff like that you can visit. And you can also have private spaces, so your space could be, you're throwing a party and you're inviting friends, and with all the, the goggles that are coming out, all this stuff, you could be, I think I look at Web3 as you can be in multiple spaces at the same time. It's like all the films that we've watched, they're like becoming reality right now.
That digital twin of Earth, I just think that's fabulous because there's no excuses why you can't go to something. You can't blame it on traffic or flights. That's fabulous. How about yourself? Jamie?
So you guys all know better technology than myself. So I'll talk from a different view. So for myself, from my experience, so this Web3 gave a lot more opportunities to people because the field is pretty new. So when I joined this field in 2018, there was not many experts. So I myself studied a little bit, and I'm from Korea. So in Korea, we were kind of picking up the idea a little bit late. After that, we were really fast growing. But back then, no one really knew about this, and I was the like a few people who started to learning about it, and that gave me a lot of opportunities. Like for example, before I knew blockchain, because my background is from music, I got rejected from a lot of like big companies in Korea. But after 2 years of experience, I get a lot of requests, a lot of job offers asking for me to advise them, because in Korea, as Sarah said, global reach is one good like part of Web3, but in Korea, the language barrier is still there. So I kind of work as a medium between like global market and global resources into Korean market. So there I found a lot of opportunities to grow, and I wanted other women to see that opportunity as well. That's why I founded Women in Web3 Korea. And so I'm now, like this Web3 gave me opportunity to grow myself, but also I'm helping others to grow together, and that was a big change for me.
That's incredible. I mean, talk about overcoming obstacles, right? A non-technical background, music. In addition, the Korean market is so different in blockchain than at least the Canadian and the US market. Very different obstacles that you've had to overcome. Not a lot of support, you know, not a lot of like systems, and you still went ahead and you did it. That's absolutely incredible. And how about yourself?
I agree with so much of what Jamie said there. I was planning to talk about kind of learning how to learn. I came through engineering school, and like that teaches you how to like read a textbook and ask your professor some questions. And that doesn't really exist for Web3 yet, or like maybe it's starting to, but things change so fast and your textbook's out of date. If you like read a textbook on, I don't know, Ethereum consensus, it's probably still talking about proof of work, and like we've moved past that. And so for me, and then also for other new hires that I support, it's all about learning like what new resources are available to you, because sometimes the best resources are like Twitter, Discord, and Stack Overflow. And if you told like university me that, I like would not believe you. Like, could you cite that? No. But that's literally the best spot to find information now. And kind of getting across that hurdle that is actually where you have to look is really, really transformational. Related is also asking for help. A lot of new folks are reluctant to ask for help, especially coming from school. They're like, it's a project, I need to do it all by myself. I can't plagiarize or ask people. And that's not how it is. Web3 is so collaborative, and there's always people making innovations. So one of the things I tell my new folks is, if you get stuck, try for 30 minutes, but like set a timer. And at 30 minutes, if you are still just as stuck, it's time to ask for help. The other thing is do and show your homework. So in those 30 minutes, you're doing your homework. You're like Googling, you're trying it, you're seeing what happens. When you go ask for help, that's your time to show your homework. You have to say both what you need help with and what you've already tried, and whether it did or didn't work, and kind of what happened. That sets the context and makes sure like the person you're asking for help knows that you've done a little bit of work. You didn't just like kind of give up and say, can you help me with this? That really sets the stage for a productive relationship. And those are the biggest things I tell my new folks to help them be successful in Web3.
I think you're always kind of a bit afraid, like to look stupid. So I'm gonna like, I remember being at university and I go like, this professor is telling me stop, I don't understand anything. So I would like ask, did you get that? And they go, no. And then ask this way. And then I figured by like end of first year, I go, if I don't understand it, 80% of my classroom doesn't understand it. So it's okay to ask. I think that's important.
Yeah, I'm going to continue on this topic because I think it's so good. I don't even think it's only just for the young, new people. I think as you mature and you go into more of a deeper into your career, it's like if you ask for help, does that appear as a weakness? Does it, you don't know? And it's definitely asking for explanations. And of course, ChatGPT is wonderful, but it is 2021, so it is a bit behind. But it's such a crucial thing, I think, no matter where you are in your career, just saying, hey, can you explain this to me? And especially when you're coming in from a non-technical background. I came in from a non-technical background. I've done marketing, and I'm now more of a technical marketer, but it took a lot of hard work, and it still does. And I'm always asking, definitely the dumbest one in the room, like, hello, can you tell me what that means? But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Okay, so in the bear market, it's challenging times for many of us and on different levels. So maybe if you could just talk about, Nataliya, just how that sort of impacts reshaping your ideal role.
I like this. Bitcoin is 30,000 or close to it, and we're talking about bear market. If we looked at this like 5 years ago, it was like a dream, right? So I just want to put it in the context of where we are in this sector. And I learned to, I said, love bear market? No, well, I learned to embrace it. Because you need, in any growth curve or cycle, you need time for things to settle, right? You need the dust to settle so it clears out. And I think surviving, or not surviving, working through the bear market when the finances are tough is a good thing. You kind of learn what the market really needs without the fluff. Like, does your product have real value? And if it does, you'll keep on going. You'll become more agile. You'll be sharper. So I think this is a good thing right now. I think we're doing all as a community. And if you look at even the conferences and stuff, how much, I was in Bogota at the DEF CON, and it was like 6,000 of developers who were like, this community is global, they're from all over the world, and all our nodes and everything, the proof of work, proof of stake, they're working, we're decentralized, we're doing it, bear market or not, and this is not our first bear market. So we're hanging on there, we've got something that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in my career journey, I was lucky to join this field earlier, and I had opportunity to learn by just doing. But as I said, I don't have engineering background, so it took me a little bit more than you might take. So like when the market was down, I took that opportunity as a learning period. And but still I'm learning, and it's pretty hard for me to understand. So I define my role as I call myself a connector in Korea, because Korea market, the community is pretty small. So you need someone to ask to, they don't go to directly to internet, or they don't go to some groups. They actually ask someone around, but there are not many people around, so I'm trying to connect people, and by doing that, I'm also learning, and I wanna onboarding so many people from Web2 or people with non-background in Web3, so that we can have a bigger group in Korea, not only in Korea, but even in the global wise. So yeah, I'm doing this role as my first goal right now. Before that, I just tried to grow myself, but now I'm doing this connector in Korea market, but I now do Women in Web3 Korea, so with all different groups, women groups or other groups with different focus, I want to work together to make more impact, more synergy. Yeah.
I completely agree with what Nataliya was saying about folks still building. The news cycle and everything is really tough, and emotionally, it's easy to get really down. But there are really, really cool projects still building, and honestly, probably the threshold for projects right now, the average quality is probably higher because it's a tough market. There's still opportunities to get involved, and if that's what you're passionate about, I definitely say still go for it. The market will turn around, and we will be better for having spent this time building.
I couldn't agree with all of you there, and it seems like such a crazy thing to say, but when you struggle, you feel more alive. When things are totally smooth, you kind of coast. I do like the coast, but I've never felt more alive. So we're running out of time here, so I just want to give you any final thoughts, anything that you want to share with the audience, if there's opportunities to participate. I know, Nataliya, you shared that earlier, or, is your company hiring?
Yeah, so with CryptoChicks and what we're doing, we definitely would like to have teachers and mentors involved, and these are global part-time positions that helps us scale. And I think in Web3, I think there is 3 things that we need to focus on, and one is scalability. And scalability is always haunting us. I mean, we're starting with Ethereum and gas fees, and that's what we have layer 2. Those are add-on solutions to deal with scalability issues. So Web3, we have to really deal with scalability issues. The other one is value of your voice. So it's important to have a voice, but it's also important to check the value of your voice in a community. So that's really, and then diversity, and I would add, it's not diversity that we keep on hearing on television, it's diversity in the opinion. It's good to have somebody on your team. Like if you're all Democrats, get a Republican, and vice versa. Just, that's the diversity that I'm talking about. And in Web3, the world that cannot exist without women, so Web3 will be really lopsided if women are underrepresented.
Yeah, so as a final comment, I want to say now every voice matters, and we get together and make the voice even bigger. That matters even more. So I want to talk more with other groups and more people. And also, she spoke about the scalability. So EthStorage is doing scalability for Ethereum storage. So I'm going to have a talk at 3:30 in Purple Room. So please join me in hearing about us as well. And also, there's a Korea Blockchain Week. It's pretty big event in Korea in September. So if anyone is coming there, please talk to me and we can have something together. Yeah.
For me, I guess the closing thought I want to leave you with is there's no skill set you have to develop before you join the space. There's nothing that you can't learn by jumping in and figuring it out as you go. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it. And if you kind of try to do it on the side, you'll never get as deep or as much time spent learning as you could if you really, really jumped in. Is Circle hiring? Yes. Significantly slowed given current market conditions, but we are still building. There's important projects going on, and we're always looking for good folks to join us. You can find info on the website. That's really it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And honestly, you guys have been an incredible audience, so enthusiastic. Thanks for, we got all that great energy from you. And thank you. It was an honor, working with all 3 of you at Palace. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.